Hello everybody, it's Garen. Welcome back to the Black Zombie YouTube channel. And the last but not least, we're going to talk about the flight of a disc when you throw it flat. This is probably the best way, I'm going to say it is the best way to start playing disc golf, is learn to throw a shot flat. It's the most consistent way to throw a disc. Even if you've been playing for a long time, the flat shot is going to do the most for you as far as the predictability, because whether you have wind that's left to right or right to left or headwind or tailwind, a flat shot does what a flat shot is going to do, more so than if it's like this, exposing the bottom of the plate or tilting the top plate, or like this or whatnot. But if you're just starting out, flat shot is the way to go. If you learn your flat shot, then you can start getting into your anhyzers and your hyzers, nose up, nose down. We can talk about all that. But let's break down the flat shot real quick. So when you're throwing a flat shot, and I can talk about how to grip a disc like that in another video, but you have the bottom of the disc here where you're going to have your fingers. We'll do a power grip for this example. Your thumb's on top. When you're doing a flat shot, you're going to come across your chest like any other shot, but it's going to be flat. So you're going to have the flat shot like this. When the disc releases from your hand, it'll be flat. Now, a flat shot really lets the disc do what a disc does. If you have a stable disc, it's going to stay straight as long as it can until it actually slows down enough where it turns left. So me being a right-hand backhand flat shot, if I throw a stable disc, it's going to go straight and then ultimately turn left. The more unstable the disc is, the longer it's going to go straight before it turns left. If I throw a more stable disc, it's going to turn in faster left quicker. So if you want something to dump in real quick, you'll throw a more stable disc. If you want something to go straighter longer, throw a less stable disc. For the flat shot with a headwind, again, we've talked about this in the other videos, the headwind destabilizes it. So if I throw a disc into a headwind flat, you're going to see, this is again, backhand, right-hand backhand, flat shot. A headwind is going to make the disc either one, fly straighter longer because it's going to destabilize what it wants to do, or it's going to make it turn right even because it's going to destabilize what it wants to do. Destabilizing means it's not going to go left in this case. Right-hand backhand always wants to go left, at least at some point. That headwind is going to keep it flying straight longer, and or even turn it to the right maybe really far because there's a lot of headwind or it's very unstable, or it's going to turn it just a little bit before it comes back. If you have a tailwind, again, a tailwind stabilizes your disc. If you're throwing a flat shot and you have a tailwind, the tailwind is going to make it still want to turn in left faster. So if you have a very stable disc with a tailwind, keep in mind it's not going to go as far because your wind is going to make it turn in faster left. If you have a understable disc and you throw a flat shot, this is how people get the longer shots often, where you throw a really hard flat shot that's a little bit understable, means it's going to like come over a little bit this way, it's going to fly for a while, and once it slows down, stabilizes, it's going to come back. So depending on what disc you pick and what wind, a headwind or tailwind, you throw that flat shot, you start learning what that disc is going to do with that headwind or tailwind. But with a tailwind, keep in mind, it's going to stabilize it. Now, the tricky ones, again, but if you have a right to left, it gets tricky, and you're concerned about the disc going too far left or too far right, the flat shot is the way to go. The last thing you want, especially if you're in a round, you're playing disc golf at a round, a tournament, and say you just had a bad hole or two bad holes in a row, and you're just like hating life at this point, which I've been there. Instead of trying to throw your hyzer or anhyzer, just go back to the basics of throwing a flat shot. You have less chance of having the wind from the right or left mess with you. So throwing a flat shot with a right to left, yes, it will still affect the flight, and it still will stabilize it, meaning it's still going to most likely hit the wing here and push it up to make it more stable, so it's make it turn left faster. So yes, a flat shot will be more stable with a right to left. If you had released that too much this way, it's going to stabilize it more. If you get that wing down where it's not quite flat, it's going to like push it this way. So keeping that disc as flat as possible with a right to left will have less impact from that wind coming at it. Now, left to right wind is going to destabilize it. So it's going to, you throw a flat shot. Remember, if you have that wing up and you're throwing a shot like this, the little Annie is going to push it that way. If it's actually wings down like a hyzer shot, it's going to push it down. So our goal in this case is to throw it flat to minimize the impact from the wind that hits the wing and keep it going straight as long as possible. Now keep in mind when you throw the disc, if the basket is straight ahead, if you throw the disc straight at the basket, the disc is still wanting to turn left. So you still want to, like, either one, throw an understable enough disc, or check out the winds around you so it actually will go a little bit to the right to come back. Or throwing a flat shot, you're simply going to throw a little bit to the right, flat shot, and time it just right so when it slows down, it's going to skip in next to the basket. So you'll oftentimes see new players, or even players who just don't make the right shot, they will actually throw right at the basket, great looking shot, and it'll skip off to the left. Or they'll throw a little bit to the right, and it'll skip off from the basket, and it'll be like 40 feet to the left. You're going to have to get good at throwing your flat shot to the right of the basket. Of course, this is the right hand backhand, not the left hand. It's the left hand. Left-handers, you got to think of it backwards. Throwing flat shot to the right of the basket, so such that once it gets down there, it'll slow down, skip up to the basket, and you'll be there for your birdie or next to the basket where you want to be. That's basically the rundown of the flat shot. I love the flat shot. If you're ever having a tough round, I do myself. I revert to a straight shot for a bit, a flat shot, just because this starts getting to be more technical, less moving parts, just moving to a straight shot. Try that. That's the only tip I got for you in this video. But stay tuned. We'll have more videos, more tips. I'm going to get out in the field and throw some discs. One of the most exciting parts I want to do, I want to not only throw these shots like hyzer, flat, and anhyzer, but I want to show you how to throw a backhand roller, which is one of my favorite shots. I did the forehand roller too, but we'll do the sidearm and forehand rollers another time. But stay tuned because I'm going to get those backhand rollers here going soon. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.